Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and go through how to use this Powtoon website. So you have already selected your topic and done your research. Sorry, my cats are being bad in the background. So you've already selected your topic and done your research. And so we're going to go ahead and get started on the creation of the final portion of this project. Okay, so you're going to take that research and put it into a short animated video called a Powtoon. So I'll make sure I'll put this link in Google Classroom. You're going to click on this link, okay, and it will take you to this website, and you do need to make an account. So you would click right here, sign up, it's free. And then when you do that, it's going to pop up with this, and you want to go ahead and continue with Google, all right, and make sure that you are using your Crestview Google account. Okay, so you would just click on that button and it would create the account for you. Now, I've already created an account, so I'm going to log in. So this will be how you get into it afterwards. There's going to be a little bit of lag time because I'm using my old computer. Forgive me, but it's the only one that works with this screencasting website. Alright, so when you finally get to the home page, this is what it's going to look like. And I will say, down below you'll see Powtoons you've made before. That one should look familiar to you. But when you're starting out, you'll see this right away. And there are templates that you can use. I find the templates really hard to use actually whenever you need to customize them, because obviously there's probably not going to be a template for the Anthropocene effects. And with the templates, there's so much built into them that it actually takes more time and is harder than if you just start with a blank Powtoon. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, start with a blank Powtoon. And whenever it loads, you're going to see it looks kind of like a video editing type of website, which is basically what it is. Alright, the next thing that's going to pop up is that it's going to ask you to choose a look for your Powtoon. This is the website's way of narrowing down some of the images and clip arts that you can use. So there's ones that have little Bitmoji people or cartoon characters. There's ones that look like black and white sketches and infographics. And then there's also ones that have real type of pictures and images and things like that. Okay, so I don't care which one you use. Creative license, you get to pick. Okay, whichever you think will fit your topic the best, go for it. I'm going to go ahead and just pick the real one for now. Like I said, you don't have to pick this one. You can pick a different one. And then this is where a lot of your workspace is going to be. So right away you see you've got your blank image here. You're going to have a time editing bar down below. Okay, and when we get further into this, I'll show you how to use that. But the first thing that we need something besides a blank slide. Okay, so let's say I wanted to do my presentation on, I'll just pick one of them. Maybe I'm looking at how increased carbon levels have affected our oceans. Okay, so obviously a nice picture of an ocean would probably be a good way to start out. And if you look here, this toolbar on the right hand side is going to be kind of all of the tools that you will ever need to use in this. Okay, so there's 100+ different backgrounds when it comes to oceans and shapes and images and videos. Apparently there's even sounds of the ocean. Fascinating. So maybe I'm going to go ahead and look in backgrounds. And yes, you could scroll through these and skim through them. You don't have to search for a certain thing. Okay, that's just what we can use here. So results from all looks. Results in media. Okay, now you guys will have a couple days of pro free. So you can use the pro things. I don't mind, but there might be a watermark on there after that certain time has finished up. Okay, so maybe I really like this picture. Okay, I could drag and drop it right here to set it as my background. And for your introduction, you want to make sure that you don't just have like a title. You want to like catch that audience's interest a little bit. Okay, like draw them into the presentation. So maybe you want to put like an interesting fact or statistic or question, okay, that really like lures your reader in. Okay, so I could put a question or maybe an interesting fact that I found about that, and I would normally if I was doing this in real life. But since this is just kind of a way to show you how to use this, I'm going to go ahead. The next thing, after you get your hook into the audience, you also want to make sure you do have a title for your particular presentation, and we do that by going to the toolbar on the right hand side, clicking on the big capital T, and then this just basically kind of gives you like size and boldness of your titles. So add title. Okay. And my project is about ocean life and increased carbon levels. That sounds like a good title. Okay. Now, one thing that you notice, it's really hard to read this like gray font on this picture. So what you can do is you can change the color right here. So maybe like, I don't know, white. Yeah, white makes it stand out. Okay, or whatever other color you decide. You can change the font. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of different fonts in here, more than you're probably typically used to seeing in your like normal Google Docs or your Google Suites. So I don't care what font you use, just maybe make sure it's one that we can actually like read fairly easily. Okay, so that looks good. Okay, maybe I don't like that one either. Good. All right, so once you've like played around and looked at all the fonts and made all your decisions and everything else like that. So you will also see here, this is how you can make things bigger, okay, or smaller. Okay. Alignment, you're used to seeing that kind of stuff on Google. The opacity means that you can make it either like really solid or kind of see-through, if it loads correctly. Okay, so what happens is like that will increase or decrease like how visible your titles are. There's effects. This is what you'll see for both text and for images too, so you can do this with pictures. Some effects that you can do, so you can talk about, or you can have it set so that the words will appear at different times. Okay, so maybe I want that one for our entrance. Okay, and maybe I want a swoop down whenever it leaves. Okay. One thing is there's also this one, which is sometimes cool but sometimes hard to read whenever you get into these things. And there's also ways to like add sounds, add hands. The hands are kind of creepy. I'll do it for you just so you see what it looks like. I find it weird, but if you like it, I won't judge you too much. So you can do all these different types of editing. So once you've selected, you just hit the little X button and it saves it. You can also move your text or your pictures by clicking on that button. So if it starts out here, maybe I want to move it over here. Okay. The links for hyperlinking stuff, have never messed with the lock button all that much. I don't think you'll need to use it. And then the arrange is if you want to put like a picture or like a shape or something behind it and you want the words to be in front of it, that's what you can use to kind of like stack your images and your words. Okay. And then when you're done, you just click off of it. Okay. Now, the next thing, if you wanted to like view your pieces and parts here, okay, so you could actually see what this looks like. So this gray arrow right here will play the slide, okay, and the slide right now is 10 seconds long. Oh, there's the creepy hand writing in the wrong spot. So like I said, some of this you just have to play around a little bit. And you might feel that that 10 seconds is a little bit too long just to read the title. So you can always shorten it by hitting the minus button. You can also make it longer if you have a lot of information on a slide. Keep in mind you do have only 3 minutes to put all your research into it, so you'll probably need to shorten things like the title slide. You can also move things around. So like the words show up right at the beginning right now, but if you didn't want the words to show up until like halfway through, you could move your words so that they showed up later. Okay, and you could also move them so that the words weren't there as long. Okay, so it's just a little bit of like things to play around with here. The next thing, and the thing I probably should have started off with, but I've recorded this like 3 times, so hopefully this recording works, is you actually want to make sure you have a title for yours too. So, super important. Go up here, change your title, change it to something that your project is about, ocean and carbon. And the next thing, and to be nice to me, please and thank you, please put your last name in there. I'm going to be getting a lot of these projects, and they're all kind of similar in a way, topic-wise at least, so please, please, please put your last name in your title so that way it makes it a little easier for when I'm looking at your particular project. Okay? Put title in. Alright, let's go ahead and get another slide in there. To add another slide, we just hit the add a blank slide button over here. And let's say, so there's like a video option in here that you can do. And the videos are actually kind of a neat way to like up the level of your presentation. So maybe I wanted to look for fish. And I see in the videos there's like 100 plus. Okay. And I really tend to like these like story block ones because most of them are free. And I think they're pretty cool too. So I click it's thinking. So let's say I like this one. The Finding Nemo in it. A little clownfish. Oh, that's adorable. So if you like that one, you just drag and drop it right here in the middle of your screen. Wait for it to load. Okay, and that actually will tend to give you a couple other slides. I'm not sure why this is not. There you go. It'll pop up over here. So you can see this is actually 2 slides worth. And you can always watch what your video is going to look like by hitting that gray play button. Okay, if you wanted to watch from the beginning, you would hit the blue one, but you can see they're kind of moving along, and you're still able to like add text, add pictures, so it kind of just gives your viewer something else to look at besides just a plain background and the text. Other things that you can add sound, you can add shapes, you can add images, and props is kind of like another fancy way of saying images. So there's a lot of things that you can add with this. Even with the sound, you can like record yourself reading it if you're feeling really brave and you want to do that. Of course, go right ahead. So once again, you can alter this. You can also change like how long someone is on this slide based down here. And the next thing that you'll see, so you see there's like these little like file folder looking things in between. This is how you would add a transition between slides. Okay, so there's a bunch of different options for this too. And then, just fade it, okay. So if we wanted to watch our Powtoon from the very beginning, okay. All right. And this is going to look kind of trashy, but it's okay because we're just making it real quick. All right, so you could hit this big blue button and look through and see what you've got thus far. We've got a title and we've got some fish. I will be putting a rubric up with all the expectations, okay? But that is kind of the basics behind all of this. Whenever you are done for the day or for whenever your project is all ready to be graded, you're going to hit save. It does automatically save it, but I don't trust it. So you always hit save, and then if you go back to your like home page of Powtoon, okay, you can go ahead and click on the More button and add me as a collaborator. So click on your Powtoon, click on the More, hit Collaborate. You're going to enter in my email address, which I'll put on Google Classroom too, but remember it's dawson.robin@crestview.schools. Please do this quickly, okay? Copy, and so that way I can help you whenever you get stuck on things, okay? And then you just hit the Collaborate button, and that'll be it. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me and I'll talk to you guys later.